What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today's going to be a pretty dang cool video, right? What I'm known for online is my love for the 26, the Glock 26 that is. Also my love for subcompacts in general, right? There's subcompacts from every single brand out there because that was the big thing. Before there were single stacks, before there were micro 9s, there was subcompacts. There was the baby Glock. The Glock 26 was the first to do it. And ever since I got one, I've never put it down, and I've never cared for anything else so much, right? The Glock 26s are just what I like. Everything is about opinion, experience, and preference. Therefore, that's what mine is, right? I've had some issues with some striker-fired polymer SIGs. Now, I owned the P320 before. You can see the video and review up on the channel still from years ago, right? I liked it. It shot well, smooth. Mine was actually really reliable. But I just couldn't get over how cheap it felt. And then also you heard all the stories, so I ended up getting rid of it. Also, my P365s, I did have some issues. I think they're great guns. Very shootable guns. If you have a reliable one, they are awesome. They're great guns. But when it comes to SIG, I prefer their hammer-fired handguns. They have so many different variants out there, so many different awesome models. The P224 is a handgun I've been looking for a while on 357 SIG or 40. I love that thing. If I can find one used for a decent price, I'm going to pull the trigger on that instantly because they're such good handguns, right? Here's a pickup that my buddy picked up. He got it for $319. This right here is a Sig Sauer P250. Let's get into this thing. This thing has a 3.6 inch barrel. We're actually going to compare it to the Glock 26, so stay tuned for that. 3.6 inch barrel. No forward serrations, obviously, because when this handgun came out, or handguns like the Gen 3 26s and stuff like that, no one cared about forward serrations. It was, does your handgun work or not, right? Rear serrations that work really well, actually look pretty nice, and I like the finish on this. I don't know why SIG went away from the finish they used to have on their handguns, but this finish is just great. Look at the barrel. Much better than the finish nowadays, right? Just is what it is. 3-dot tritium sights, although I think the tritium is worn out on these, as it only lasts so long. I think it is, but doesn't really matter. If you're going to be shooting or defending yourself at night, you should probably have a light on and being able to see your target, you know, so you don't really need night sights on a carry gun. And these are very easy to replace as there's so many different SIG sights out there. One thing you'll notice is it looks sort of disproportional, but it feels really good. It's only 24.9 ounces. Feels really good in the hand, and that little thicker, heavier upper actually fits it quite well. And when this mag is loaded, I actually loaded up with some snap caps. It feels pretty darn good, not gonna lie. Obviously, there's no rail on it. There wasn't on a Glock 26 either. Still to this day, the Gen 5s, come on Glock, no rail, makes no sense. So, of course, we give it the pass on not having a rail on this one. I'm sure there's some, you know, lasers or trigger guard mounted stuff that you can get for it. I'm just not 100% sure of it. Next up, great texturing. I've always liked the texturing on the SIG P320, the P365. This right here is good texturing as well. Obviously, it's older, but what I wish they would have done is just put more up here, but not a big deal anyways. Large, heavy, thick slide is going to handle recoil really well, right? Top of that, stainless steel guide rod. Really like that, as Glock does not. Now, one thing I noticed is, look at that mag. And yes, these are 12-round flush mags, which we will be comparing to the OEM 12-round mags in the Glock 26 in a second. Even though I have cheat codes that allow me 13 rounds in a shorter setup, we're going to compare OEM mags, right? Right here is a little cutout. If you have a terrible malfunction or a jam of some sort where you can't get the mag out, this is huge. It allows you to get some leverage on this mag and yank it, right? Glock will never give you that for the rest of life. SIG did give that to you. They did offer that, and it's a pretty cool overall feature. What's nice about a lot of these older subcompacts, you'll see little features that they'll never put on pistols today. Like my Beretta PX4 Storm subcompact, the pinky extension folds down. So if it doesn't fit your hand properly, it folds down, allowing more room and more purchase on the handgun. Just a little simple thing they added. Pretty cool. Probably didn't cost much to add it into the firearm itself. Everything functions well. The mag launches out. The slide racks like butter. I kid you not. That was one thing that my buddy Dan, shout out to him, pointed out to me. This is his. This is not mine. So shout out to my buddy Dan for letting me review this. The slide just, it is so clean, smooth, and crisp, right? Now, one thing that's interesting about this handgun is it's double action only. So we're going to go over that. One thing I like when it comes to double action only pistols is it's sort of like the XDM that I have. It is a great way to learn how to carry with a round in the chamber. It's a peace of mind. In order for a trigger like this to be pulled all the way to let a round go, something crazy would have to happen in your holster. Something crazy would have to happen while you're, reholstering. All sorts of stuff. If you keep your finger out of the trigger, there's zero chance of this double action only trigger going off. Now, one thing is, it is relatively light for a double action trigger. It's very clean, smooth. There's zero grit. It's very smooth. It's a rolling break. So you do have to get used to it. It's not going to be the fastest shooting gun in the world, but neither is my CZ-P10M, and I love that thing, right? It sort of just chugs along. It's accurate, reliable, and that's what you need. But when it comes to shooting really, really fast, it's not a competition gun. These are self-defense guns, guys, right? So the only thing I would worry about is short stroking that reset as it is long. But to avoid that, you know, I'm going to stop doing that to a hammer-fire pistol. But I just showed you, if you just let a full release go, you'll be fine. You don't shoot to reset on something like this. You let it fully extend. So you just get your finger out of the way each time, and then boom, 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 you're good to go. So you can end up shooting it relatively fast. You just got to get used to it. And if this is your main carry, then you should have no problem getting used to it and shooting it every weekend at the range, stuff like that. Very minimal recoil because of that big, heavy slide. Like I said, it does feel more even with rounds in the mag. Right here, 15-round mag. So you get full 3 fingers on it. You can find grip sleeves. I like grip sleeves on mags. On the larger mags, it just helps and it stabilizes the mag from wobbling and potentially causing a failure to feed or something of that nature if you're really gripping on it tight. But you probably won't have the issue. You don't need it, right? Typically, you're just going to run that as a backup mag, as the reason why you have a small handgun in the first place is for concealability. If you didn't care about concealability, you'd be carrying something larger, chances are. But the Sig Sauer P250, I love this thing. These are the SIGs I love. The 224s, the 226s, the 229s. Those are the SIGs that are just animals, beasts, and the 250 included. Love this thing. All right, let's compare it to the Glock 26 then. Stop taking up your time. Glock 26 on the right, 12 plus 1. Let's see, get them lined up. That looks about right. 12 plus 1 on the right. Here, let me move this actually. Let me get a better colored background to see it. That's perfect. So Glock 26, 12 plus 1 on the right. Sig P250 on the left. 12 plus 1 on the left. So 12 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. Same exact round count. Very even. Now, beaver tail to beaver tail on the Gen 5. Pretty dang even. Slide to slide. Barrel to barrel. And it all makes sense. The Sig is just a tad bit thicker, but not noticeably different at all in the slide. And then when you come down to the frame, the Glock 26 is actually wider in the frame. You see how the frame on the 26 gets wider? Slide is thinner, then the frame gets wider. It's vice versa for the P250. Basically the same exact footprint. Look at this comparison. Really cool. You know, 2 pieces of history, 2 awesome handguns. I love these things. I don't care what people say. If it's something I like, something I enjoy, something that works, I love it. That's what it's about at the end of the day. For me, it's not about the newest, greatest, and latest, most expensive. I've played that game before. It's about what I like as an individual, and that's what I carry based on. If this is the one handgun I own, I'd be perfectly fine with this. Honestly, I really like this thing. This thing is awesome. I love finding gems like this. Like I said, this isn't mine, but if I ever came across one, I'd probably like to pick it up. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is the Sig Sauer P250. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll go real slow around the whole handgun again, because you guys seem to like that, and then get upset at me when I don't show it like that. So, trying to cater. And if you're wondering about my hands, I've already washed them. That's just plumbing for you guys. Just plumbing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.